Hey guys, today we're diving into the world of the 1979 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that can cost thousands of dollars. Can you imagine that collectors pay $2,000 or more for just one of these? And more than once, here are some examples of real sales. In 2016, a 1979 Jefferson Nickel with a high grade of MS66 and distinct full steps sold for $2,115 at Heritage Auctions. It was one of the most impressive sales ever. But that's not the only record. In 2018, a similar coin with a slightly lower grade of MS65 sold for $1,800. Another interesting sale. In 2020, on eBay, this nickel in MS67 condition with full steps and luster sold for almost $3,000. Why such a price? The higher the grade, the rarer the coin. It is these details that make it unique. Why are these steps so important? Full steps are the sharp steps on the Monticello building on the reverse side. They wear off quickly in circulation, and finding a coin with such sharp detail is a real rarity, especially for mass issues. In addition, in 1979, more than 400 million of these coins were minted, but almost all were in circulation. Finding a coin in perfect condition is a great success. Therefore, even small differences in preservation greatly affect the price. Buyers at auctions are willing to pay more if the coin is certified by reputable companies such as PCGS or NGC. Certification confirms the condition and authenticity, which increases trust and price. That's why coins graded MS66 and above, especially full steps, can easily be worth 10 to 20 times their face value. Interestingly, common 1979 coins can be found for a few cents. But with a little luck, you're holding a valuable artifact in your hands. If you have such a nickel, I advise you to examine it carefully under a magnifying glass. Full steps look like small relief lines on the building. They should be clear and deep. If so, you may have a real rarity. So, guys, even ordinary change can hide big money. Remember that details and preservation are the key to the price. Don't forget to check the coins and, if necessary, submit them for examination. That's all about 1979 for today. Moving on to the next coin, the 1985 Jefferson Nickel. It also looks simple, but some examples reach very high prices. Let's see why and give real examples. In 2017, a Heritage auction sold a 1985 Jefferson Nickel graded MS67 for an impressive $3,500. What makes it so expensive? Again, the condition and minting characteristics play a key role. The uniqueness of this coin is due to a rare error, a double strike, which appears as shadows and thickenings on the reverse. Such specimens are called double die and are highly prized by collectors. In 2019, another rare Jefferson Nickel, 1985, with a similar error and grade, MS66 was sold on eBay for $2,800. This confirms that rare defects in excellent condition can significantly increase the price. Over 300 million of these coins were minted, but the double die error is extremely rare, making it desirable among collectors. Also, as with the 1979, certification by PCGS or NGC is important. Without it, the price can be significantly lower. Interestingly, this coin is a great example of how a small defective detail turns an ordinary nickel into a collectible worth thousands of dollars. If you have one of these nickels, look closely at the back for shadows or double lines, especially around the date and text. Now get ready. The next coin is even more unique and rare. On to the 1987 Jefferson Nickel. And now, it's 1987's turn. This coin can also be very valuable if you're lucky enough to find a rare and well-preserved specimen. Let's figure out why. In 2018, a 1987 Jefferson Nickel graded MS66 was sold at auction for $1,900. The price depends on the condition and rarity. These are the two factors that make a coin desirable. The peculiarity of this coin is the presence of minting errors, such as weak stamping and variations of full steps, which, if well preserved, greatly increase the price. Collectors also look for examples with clearly visible details on the reverse side, especially the steps on the Monticello building. The brighter and more distinct, the better. In 2020, one such nickel-graded MS67 sold for almost $2,500 on eBay. This confirms that the better the condition, the higher the price. The total number of coins minted this year is about 280 million. But there are not many perfect examples with the required characteristics. Certification from PCGS or NGC is also important here. It confirms authenticity and condition, which is critical for buyers. If you have a 1987, inspect the coin carefully under a magnifying glass, look for clear full steps and no defects. Now we move on to the Jefferson Nickel, 1999, a coin that has its own unique features and price. Okay, brother, now we move on to the fourth coin, the 1999 Jefferson Nickel. This coin may seem too new to be worth much, but it's not that simple. Some examples have sold for $1,500 or more. Let's see why. In 2016, a 1999 D Jefferson Nickel, meaning from the Denver Mint. Graded MS67 Plus and with full steps sold for $1,528 at a heritage auction. And it's all about the steps again. As in other years, perfectly struck full steps are gold for collectors. In 1999, due to the wear of the dies and the quality of the minting, clear steps are extremely rare. Some examples have what is called a satin finish, especially if they come from special sets. These coins have a special surface texture, and you pay big money for perfect condition. Interestingly, one of these coins with a satin finish, graded SP69, sold for $1,150 in 2020. Visually, it looks incredible, as if it just came off the assembly line. Errors are also valued on the market. For example, an off-center strike, a double strike, or an incomplete center. Such coins can go for $500, $100 depending on rarity. So check your coins. Especially those with the year 1999 and a small DRP, they are also collected. Condition and clarity are the main criteria. And now we move on to the fifth and last coin for today, the 2000 Jefferson Nickel. Here we have some interesting details. We finish our series with the 2000 Jefferson Nickel. It may seem like a new coin can't be worth much, but in fact, there are some secrets that make it valuable. In 2019, a 2000 MS67 full steps coin was sold at auction for $1,750. This is an impressive price for such a nickel. And all thanks again to the rarity of perfect minting. The special feature of the 2000 coin is the limited number of coins with perfect steps on the Monticello building, which quickly wore off during circulation. In addition, rare errors such as die offset and double strikes make the coin even more valuable. Collectors are willing to pay big money for such specimens. One of the most expensive examples was a 2000D nickel graded MS68, which went for $2,200 at one of the auctions in 2021, a real trophy for collectors. If you have a coin from 2000, with clear full steps and in immaculate condition, do not rush to spend it. It could be your little gold mine. Certification from PCGS and NGC is your best friend in the world of numismatics. Without it, even a rare coin can lose several times its value. The total number of coins minted this year is more than 350 million. But there are very few ideal specimens with the necessary characteristics. So, friends, we have taken a close look at 5 Jefferson nickels that can be worth thousands of dollars if they have rare features and are in excellent condition. Thank you for being with us. Remember that the real value of a coin is in its history, condition, and rarity. Check out your collections. You may have a real treasure in your hands. Subscribe, like, and wait for new videos with even more rare and expensive coins.